once upon a time, long ago, when I was growing up, patent leather was only to be worn in the spring. You never saw anyone in Paris with a patent leather handbag or patent leather shoes in the fall. Okay? Now, they didn't have, it's so long ago, 100 years ago, so they didn't know anything about plastic. So today the plastic, the patent leather you buy, it's all mostly plastic. But I was going to say, Daniel asked me if I had wooden shoes. I never had wooden shoes.
Wooden shoes.
Right before the war started, we were in France. My father had some connections with people who make shoes because it was his business, you know, tanning leather in Germany. And so I remember getting a pair of red leather. I got some leather shoes, red leather, and also, sandals. And I put them next to my bed so that the first thing in the morning I saw my shoes.
Beautiful.
You like the red shoes?
Yeah, the red ones. I still remember them vaguely the way they were at the
How
time.
old were you?
Oh, I was maybe 10 years old. It was in Germany.
So this was like 1780, 1790?
Maybe in the 15th century.
15th
16th
century.
century.
Okay.
Middle age. Moyen Age.
Well, you've had a love of shoes ever since.
I always liked shoes and handbags.
Shoes
And handbags.
Oh, yeah.
It's very French, shoes and handbags.
Yeah. Goes hand in hand, right?
Shana Tovayana.
And off we go.
You have any more stories while I have this on? Yom Kippur in Germany.
I don't, in Germany I don't remember. Oh. But in France I remember that my mother was the only one who fasted all day. We all went to the temple, and then Mama came home. We got home around noon or 1 o'clock. Mama fixed lunch for my father and my sister and me, and then she went back to the synagogue, and she told us, go and get some fresh baguette for dinner, but don't walk by the temple with your bread. I still remember that.
And you were how old?
I was about 10 years old, 9 years old.
That's funny. Did you do the round challah and the honey?
No.
That wasn't part of the tradition?
No, we didn't do any of those things. Just fasted, and then my sister and I, we wanted to see who could fast the longest. Who was going to eat first?
Who won?
I don't remember. But my father fasted half a day.
Did he work? Did he work on Yom Kippur?
No. No, he did go. He went to temple with Mama.
It was a Reform
But he didn't. Yeah. But he did not fast all day.
So
and he didn't stay in all day.
Did they speak German or French in the synagogue? It must have been French.
It was French. No, in Hamburg it was all German. It was also Reform, but it was destroyed during Kristallnacht
Right.
in Hamburg.
I bet it was a big synagogue.
Yeah. I still remember it was it was very modern when I thinking back, very modern. But the thing that we really liked was Simchas Torah.
Why? What did you do?
With the bag, with the things.
With the Torah?
No, with the bags that were filled with candies. I didn't walk on with the Torah.
What do you think about that? Daniel, look over here.
Well, we did
My mom always had stories about candy in Europe. I think it was a special treat, right?
Well, no, we at home too. There was in the living room. We had a big bibliothèque, and on one side was the candies, and it was locked. and we would stand in front of it at a certain time, and Mama would open it and give us.
Licorice? Was it licorice?
No, I don't know.
Little hard candies?
Licorice is something that I bought with my own money
Oh.
at a bakery at the time, and it was little star. It was lozenges. You can buy them here. They're imported, and they came in a box, or you buy them half a pound, you know. And we used to put them on our hand and lick. That's what you did with that. You know, so you made a flour. You know, they were lozenges, so they sort of got one. I can still do it. I have the stuff.
We'll have to find a star lozenge.
No, I know I can find that stuff, and I've been buying it sometimes, but it's not as good.
I want to see this. I want to see the technique. You give yourself a little tattoo on your hand, and then you lick it.
Yeah, that's what you do. You put it. You put it there with a little spit, and it stays. And then you go like this until it's gone.
I'm having some trouble imagining you doing this.
Huh?
I'm having some trouble imagining you doing this.
Why not? Why? I was a little girl, you know. Yeah. Long ago.
Well, another world, really. It was
It
another
was,
world.
yeah.
What was your favorite holiday growing up, Daniel? Passover, I bet.
We didn't have much.
No, I don't know. I think Thanksgiving probably.
Yeah.
I meant Jewish holiday.
Oh,
Did you
oh,
do it?
sorry.
Did you do Jewish holidays? You didn't
Oh, we
really
always
have
had a kosher turkey.
Where?
When it was cooked. When the turkey
We
was
did go
cooked.
to temple, until Sam got annoyed with a rabbi. But once we had a rabbi that he liked, but he was just somebody who was there
for a year.
very short time. He was just coming through, you know.
Right.
No, you got more Jewish when I married Ellie.
Yeah.
Or when Ellie married me, I should say.
Well, your grandmother always read the Jerusalem Post.
But Mama, Mama.
I mean, I remember that about her. She was completely up to the way you are about MSNBC. She was about the Jerusalem Post.
Oh yeah.
She would always tell you what the Jerusalem Post had recently said.
Oh yeah.
Didn't you remember that she read the Jerusalem Post regularly?
The who?
Jerusalem
Jerusalem
Post in
Post.
English.
I thought it was. There was another one.
Haaretz?
Aufbau in German.
What is that?
The
I don't know.
Aufbau. That was. She bought it here.
But what is the Aufbau?
The Aufbau. It's a Jewish. It's.
Is it Yiddish?
No, it's not Yiddish. No. It was written in German. Aufbau means reconstruction.
Uh-huh.
Aufbau. Aufbau. Bauen means to construct. Auf. You know. Aufbau. Reconstruct what has been torn down, or something. That sort of. I would translate it. And I guess it mainly.
She loved Moshe Dayan, your mother.
Moshe Dayan, yeah.
She was a big fan of Moshe Dayan.
And Golda.
Also Golda Meir.
Right. Right. I mean, when did I meet her? I met her in... We got married in 83.
Well, you met her in the
She
70s.
died what, in 81 or
80.
82? 80.
82.
So
She
I
was
met her
80,
somewhere
she died in
between
80.
79 and 82.
82, I think, Mama died.
I think, and Moshe Dayan was a big shot then, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And Golda Meir also she liked very much. Well,
Right.
Mama went, every year she went to Israel. You know, because she has her brothers there.
You know, that's who we never called. We never called Yari.
Yari.
We should do that later. What's the matter? What's the matter? You don't like being filmed?
You're videotaping our conversation.
I am. You'll be glad one day that I'm doing it.
You think so?
I do.
Is that camera big enough for this?
Yari.
You got stories, Mom.
What?
You got a lot of stories.
Well, like Mama had a lot of stories. Mama really had a lot of stories. We loved to listen to them. When she told us about the
The
you know,
Cossacks.
Cossacks, yeah, in Russia.
I don't know that I ever heard her
Before the
Cossack stories.
revolution.
Really?
And they would all sit. Mama said she was a young girl, and there were 9 children, and I think there were only 3 boys. The rest were girls. And my grandparents had
Farm.
real estate. A farm. And apparently the hands, the young girls who worked on the farm, and the Cossacks were flirting. Mama said always, and she said they would dance.
Really?
And in costumes, and she said the costumes were just so beautiful.
Huh. I always thought the Cossacks were warrior types.
Yeah, but so I guess, well, who knows?
So she had fond memories of the Cossacks.
Yeah. She was a little girl, huh?
Right. Didn't she have a horse or something?
Huh?
Didn't she have a horse?
No, but
that was the
the
story of the
horse
horse on her
the story
birthday.
of the horse was when my grandmother, whenever it was her birthday, my grandfather would put the youngest daughter on the horse, and the horse would go into the bedroom, and she would throw flowers, petals of roses.
Wow.
And my mother said, you can't imagine a horse in a home. Even if it's a big room with a high ceiling. It's huge.
So the grandmother with the 9 children,
Yeah.
and then a child would arrive on a horse with flowers
The
of...
youngest, yeah,
My
was
goodness,
always
what
on a-
regal treatment. I'd like you to take notes. I've never had anybody arrive in my room with a horse and
With a horse.
strewing rose petals on the bed. Was there breakfast in bed after the horse arrived? I would hope there would be like fresh croissant and bagels.
Well, at a
I don't
minimum,
think-
oats.
I don't think they knew much about bagels. Maybe about halib, but not bagels. No, it was
That's-
black bread in Russia.
Oh yeah, that's a fantastic image.
What?
The child on the horse in the bedroom with the rose petals.
Yeah. No, my mother had a lot of wonderful stories.
Do you think that's true? That's a true story about the horse in the house?
Yeah. Oh, of course. My mother never. No, it is true. And I never heard much about the farm or anything. I didn't hear about any living animals. They just lived on this big estate, which was theirs, And my grandfather always said to buy, he was not a businessman, to buy at one price and to sell it at another with interest is stealing. So you can imagine what kind of a businessman he would be.
So how did he make his money?
I don't know. I think they must have had money.
Huh.
And
Landed gentry, Jewish landed gentry in
I
Russia.
don't-
So,
I
mean,
don't know.
it's hard to...
I really don't know anything more about... I know that my mother said that her family was came from a very fine background. But I don't have anything about that. Too bad she's not here, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, should we go to shul? You ready to roll? Al Chet Shechatanu? This is a beautiful picture of you, Anna. I'm sorry. Okay.
You got a good
Say
haircut.
goodbye.
I like your haircut.